field hockey class of 2017. These seniors have helped the program to 25 wins over 4 seasons, including an 11-8 record and MAC Freedom Tournament berth last season. Our first senior has appeared in 45 matches during her career, starting 27 contests the past 2 seasons as a key member of the Valiant defensive unit. Earlier this season, she recorded a career-high 2 defensive saves against Wilkes, and for her career, ranked second among active players with 6 defensive saves. From Northport, New York, number 25, Devin Butler. Our next senior has been a model of consistency, appearing in at least 16 matches every season at Manhattanville. She ranked fourth on the team with 7 points last season and enters tonight's match with the same point total on 2 goals and 3 assists. For her career, she scored 7 goals with 5 assists for 19 points and is also a 2-time MAC Academic Honor Roll honoree. From the Netherlands, number 14, Lisa Maxwell. Our third senior has made 46 appearances during her time at Manhattanville, including 34 of 35 matches over the last 2 seasons, and made her first career defensive save this season in a win over Stevens on October 17th. Off the field, she's been a MAC Academic Honor Roll selection and also serves as secretary of Manhattanville's Student Athlete Advisory Committee. From Branford, Connecticut, number 15, Alexis Gerzabek. Our next senior has played in all but 1 match during her time as a Valiant, starting 67 of her 71 career appearances. She led the MAC Freedom with 16 assists last season to earn all MAC Freedom honors, placing second on the school's single-season assist list and third in all Division III in assists per match. She currently ranks 5th all-time at the school with 22 assists to go with 5 goals for 32 career points. From Pequannock, New Jersey, number 22, Melissa Sky. Our 5th senior has started every match the last 2 seasons and started 64 of her 67 career appearances as a Valiant. She set the school's career defensive saves record in a win over Stevens on October 17th, enters tonight with 22 for her career, and is the only Valiant ever with multiple seasons of 8 or more defensive saves. Offensively, her first career goal against Delaware Valley on October 7th wound up the game winner. From Deposit, New York, number 12, Haley Linkroom. Our final senior has been the last line of defense for the Valiants as the full-time starter in goal the last 2 seasons. She has set career bests for saves in a match on 3 occasions in 2017, including 26 last Saturday against Eastern, the most saves by a Valiant since 1999. She has 14 wins and 339 saves for her career, ranking her 7th in school history in both categories, and boasts a career 2.66 goals against average. From Misconset, New York, number 99, Caitlin Halloran. defense, a senior, number 2, Gabby Allen. At midfield, a sophomore, number 3, Maggie Stone. At midfield, a junior, number 4, Brooke Sherwin. On defense, a sophomore, number 5, Marie Petruk-Tella. At midfield, a junior, number 7, Chrissy Penny. At midfield, a freshman, number 8, Marissa Colvin. At forward, a sophomore, number 21, Jessica Petruk-Tella. At forward, a senior, number 22, Marissa Kowalski. On defense, a senior, number 23, Lauren Brannon. On defense, a junior, number 25, Michaela Hack. In goal tonight for the Devils, a junior, number 55, Samantha Rubin. The head coach of the Devils is Jen Noon. She's assisted by Sophie Wright, Kim Davis, and Stephanie Zigma. And now tonight's starting lineup for your Manhattanville Valiants. A sophomore midfielder from Nottingham, New Hampshire, number 3, Maisie Kettlewood. A sophomore forward from Norfolk, Virginia, number 6, Amira Thomas. A junior defender from Sandy Hook, Connecticut, number 7, Brooke Hadgrass. A senior defender from Deposit, New York, number 12, Haley Linkroom. A sophomore forward from the Netherlands, number 13, Robin Booth. A senior forward from the Netherlands, number 14, Lisa Maxwell. A senior forward from Brantford, Connecticut, number 15, Alexis Gerzabek. A junior forward from Rye, New York, number 20, Emily Antonazzi. A senior midfielder from Pequannock, New Jersey, number 22, Melissa Stye. A senior defender from Northport, New York, number 25, Devin Butler. In goal tonight for your Valiants, a senior from Nesconset, New York, number 99, Caitlin Halloran. The head coach of Manhattanville in his 10th season is Kevin Kelly. He's assisted by Emily Gallagher. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of the Dutch and American national anthem.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to GoValiants.com Field here on the campus of Manhattanville College for tonight's Mac Freedom women's field hockey matchup between Manhattanville and FDU-Florham. Manhattanville comes to today's game, their final game of the 2017 season, with a 4-12 record overall, 1-5 in Mac Freedom play. FDU, meanwhile, is 5-1 in conference, 12-6 overall, as the Devils sit in a tie for first place in the conference standings, and they need a win to potentially secure the top seed in the Mac Freedom tournament coming up next week. Manhattanville, unfortunately, is out of the running for the conference tournament at this point, as they will be finishing up their season here this evening. And we're underway here in Purchase. We thank you for joining us on a chilly fall evening here in Purchase, New York. Temperature in the low 50s, high 40s early on in this contest. Ball out of bounds, will be Manhattanville possession. Robin Boot with it for Manhattanville. She gets tripped up. Pass gets knocked away. As you said, certainly a very important game for FDU-Florham in terms of conference positioning, as that ball will trickle wide of the net. The final game of the year for the Valiants, the final home game for Manhattanville's 6 seniors who were celebrated before today's contest. Linkram knocks that one away. Now it's still in the middle. And foul on Manhattanville. No corner, though, for FDU, at least for the moment. Play it to the far side. Taken away by Boot. Now here's Boot with some space. Robin right around midfield. Off to Kettlewood. And she loses it. Ball played into space to the right side of the goal. And Gerzabek forces that one out of bounds. Will be Manhattanville ball. Our starters for tonight from Manhattanville: sophomore Maisie Kettlewood, sophomore Mira Thomas, junior Brooke Hadgraft, senior Haley Linkram, junior Robin Boot, senior Lisa Maxwell, senior Alexis Gerzabek, junior Emily Antonazzi, senior Melissa Sties, senior Devin Butler, and senior Caitlin Halloran as all 6 starters. They're all 6 seniors, I should say, in the starting lineup for the Valiants here tonight. And ball goes out of bounds. Will be Manhattanville possession once again. Looking at FDU starters: Gabby Allen, Maggie Sones, Brooke Sherwin, Marie Pietracatella, excuse me, Marissa Colvin, Chrissy Penny, Jessica Pietracatella, Marissa Kowalski, Lauren Brennan, Michaela Pack, and Samantha Rubin in goal for the Devils here today. Rubin, a stellar 1.01 goals against average on the season, 802 save percentage. Certainly one of the top goalies, if not the top goalie, in the Mac Freedom this season. And of course, Caitlin Halloran in goal once again for Manhattanville. 3.53 goals against average. 755 save percentage, however. And she's had a couple of very save-filled contests this year. Last week in Eastern, she made 26 saves in the game against the Eagles. That was the most saves by a Valiant keeper since 1999. That one goes just wide. At 99, that was the grass field era for most of Division III field hockey, certainly for Manhattanville. Valiant didn't go over to turf until 2005. There are certainly some schools in the Mac Freedom that were even a few years after that. Linkram knocks that one away. Haley, Manhattanville's all-time leader in defensive saves with 22 heading into today's game. And we'll have our first corner of the evening for FDU. Looking at the scores for FDU, they have a very balanced offense. Marissa Kowalski leads the team with 7 goals. Brooke Sherwin with 6. Michaela Pack with 5. Manhattanville, meanwhile, Emily Antonazzi with 12 goals to lead the team this season. That ball's knocked away by Halloran. Second shot is blocked as well, so Valiants fight off that corner opportunity. And now Valiants looking for a quick counter. Valiants cannot keep it in. I believe that's touched off the stick of an FDU player. I believe that was Pack with it. Pack obviously a weapon on penalty corners for FDU as the defender with the 5 goals on the season. Right, looking to get a corner out of it, and oh no, they'll say a foul is on the no, say the ball if the foul is outside the arc. Now Thomas with it. And Kettlewood actually keeps it in on the near side, on the far side, but goes right to an FDU player, and they'll send it back toward midfield. Six and a half minutes gone by in the opening half. No score here between the Valiants and the Devils. Foul called on Haley Linkram. Or excuse me, the foul's on FDU. Linkram tries to lift it up in the air. Didn't get much lift on it. Foul called here on the Valiants once again. This one's tipped by a couple players and goes just wide. That's one of those, if it goes through all the way, Halloran's going to let it go into the net, but a couple of players, I think, got sticks on it, certainly at least one FDU player. And Valiant's lucky that ball went wide of the cage. A loud and relatively boisterous crowd here tonight at GoValiants.com field. As we said, it is senior night, and all 6 parents very well represented, all 6 players very well represented here this evening. Now a giveaway, Amira Thomas sends it towards goal, and it's booted away by Rubin. Valiants with a great opportunity there, potential 2-1 none break, but Antonazzi couldn't collect the pass. If you're Manhattanville here tonight, you want to take advantage of those opportunities going up against a very good FDU team. FDU back the other way, saved by Halloran. Second shot also saved by Halloran. And that one goes wide, so good defensive showing there by Caitlin Halloran. She's been tested early and often here in this contest. Linkram hops over the stick of Thomas. It'll be FDU ball. Foul called on Styes. She obviously did not agree with it. It's blocked away. Now Thomas gets by one defender. Can't keep possession, however. Now pokes it to herself. Thomas up the near side wing. Towards the middle, had some players in front of her, but no one in the area of her pass. And that ball goes off Thomas's foot for FDU possession. Ball goes off the shin of Styes out of bounds. Let's go Valiant's chant breaking out from the crowd on the far side. Butler fighting for it, and it's going to be Manhattanville ball. Butler tries to go back. That pass intercepted. And that shot nicely blocked from behind. FD still with it, but a foul is called. I think that was Hadgraft who came back from her defense position to make a stop on that one. Valiants again can't clear the zone. If you're Manhattanville, when you have the opportunity to get the ball away from your net, you got to do it here tonight against a very opportunistic FDU team. That shot deflected just wide. Beautiful tip in front. I believe that was Kowalski. Just couldn't put the tip on goal. .11 minutes gone by in this first half. No score here at GoValiants.com field. That flick gets up in the air. FDU still controls. A foul on the Devils. It is a chilly evening here in Purchase. We've had some absolute extremes over the course of this month of October, and we've had some games that have been in 90, 95-degree heat. Tonight's game, it is freezing cold, but that's what you get when you get towards the end of October. And after all, we do have ice hockey starting up tomorrow. So field hockey ends one day, and ice hockey begins the next, as the Manhattanville men's hockey team will begin the 2017-18 season tomorrow night at Playland Ice Casino as they take on Morrisville State in a non-conference matchup. You can watch that game on GoValiants.com. For Manhattanville senior Melissa Styes, she'll go pretty much directly from the field to the ice, as the women's hockey team already well underway in terms of practices. They start a week from Sunday. They head up to Utica for a non-conference matchup with the Pioneers. They're not back home, or home at all, I should say, for a couple weeks until the middle of December, the 17th to be exact, the first home game of the season for the women's hockey team. Foul called on the Valiants. Under 22 to go in this first half. Apologies, the score clock not working here this evening. Not sure if it's frozen or what, but try to keep you updated as best we can on the time left in this game. 21:42 left to go in the first half. We'll have a second corner of the game for FDU. It's going to be Gabby Allen to insert this one. So go short side. Knocked away by Halloran. That shot is saved by Linkrum, but we're going to have a penalty, or excuse me, a penalty shot. We're going to have a penalty stroke coming up here for FDU. Looks like it's going to be Brooke Sherwin to take this penalty stroke against Caitlin Halloran. Saved by Halloran! And she gets mobbed by her teammates after she keeps this a scoreless game. She went to the right and made a nice save with a pad with a blocker. And we remain scoreless here at GoValiants.com field. FDU now 1 for 4 on penalty strokes this season. Kerwin is 0 for 2. You also had Marie Pietricatella was 1 for 2 on penalty strokes this season. So FDU, a good team certainly on the year, but penalty strokes has not been their thing at this point in the season. And Halloran comes up with a big save to keep this game scoreless. Obviously for the Valiants here, the longer they can hang with FDU and keep the game scoreless and keep the game within reach, obviously the better it is for them over the course of the night. On this cold night, if Manhattanville can find a way to put the first ball in the back of the net, would certainly change the momentum. Right now the ball has been in the FDU offensive zone for the most part. But as we've seen in a couple games this year, both positively and negatively from Manhattanville, one chance is all you need to get a goal and put your team ahead. Gerzebek stepped up to knock that ball away. Now boot over to the far side. Fall on the Devils. Gerzebek goes to Boot. Boot into the circle. Ball is loose. Thomas fighting for it for Manhattanville. And a foul called on Amira. A pass intercepted by Stiles. Foul called on the Valiants. And Tanazi and the Valiant bench disagree with the referee. 18:38 to go in the first half. Still no score, Valiants and Devils in this Mac Freedom matchup. Pass in the middle, looking for Thomas. Foul outside the arc. Stiles now in the corner. Thomas into the middle, and let's say a dangerous hit, I guess, on the Valiants. Stiles gets a stick on that one, but still able to get it through the Devils. Devin Butler keeps it in play right along the sideline. Finally goes out of bounds off the stick or body of Stiles. Guess they'll say off the body as the play has begun from within the field of play. That one swept away by Butler out on the near side. As the wind has started to pick up here at GoValiants.com field. Not exactly an ideal night for field hockey. But that's what you get when you have late October games, both for soccer and for field hockey. Of course, that's why I prefer the games during the day at this time of year, but unfortunately I do not do the scheduling. Though I will say Coach Kelly has done a very good job of moving a couple games up to the middle of the day for us already this season. So I guess I can't complain too much there for one 7 o'clock game. That ball high up in the air, then we'll draw the whistle. Put back in play by the Valiants. 16.5 minutes remaining in the opening half. Still no score. Shots on goal are 5-0 in favor of the Devils. Caitlin Howland with 5 stops, including that big penalty stroke stop a few minutes ago to keep the game scoreless. Now Stye's battling for it. Stye's still battling. And she knocks the ball out on the near side. Foul called on the Valiants as Maxwell and Antonazzi were both there. On the near side, Brennan making a run. Goes off the foot of a Valiant defender. Brennan into the middle. And a foul is called on FDU as Robin Boot was calling for and receiving the whistle. Lexi Kreitz in the game for Manhattanville. There's now a long pass forward to Antonazzi. Antonazzi gets denied. Great defensive play by Michaela Pack. And a foul called on the Valiants. Should be fouled on the Devils. Will give the ball back to the Valiants. Now Maxwell. Played the Dutch national anthem before the game in Lisa's honor. Maybe she can respond by scoring a goal for us here today. Lisa, one of the 6 seniors on this squad for the Valiants. Towards the middle, and whistle will go against the Valiants with 14.5 to go in the half. As always, you can follow the live stats for tonight's game by going to govaliants.com. Adam Ryder on the computer for the final time for field hockey game this season. Now towards the middle, it's knocked away. Kreitz into the middle. There's a shot that's saved, and we're going to have a corner for the Valiants. So we'll see what Manhattanville can do with their first penalty corner of the game. Linkrum. Her shot goes in the back of the net! It was tipped in front, I believe, by someone. But the Valiants have struck first, and they lead 1-2-0. So I said for Manhattanville, it only takes one chance to get a ball towards goal and get one in, and on their first offensive opportunity of the evening, they get the shot saved by Antonazzi, and then they draw a penalty corner as a result. And then the home team puts one home to take a 1-0 lead. Now the Valiants looking for more. Ball goes out of bounds. Now Stye's with it. Goes forward looking for Kreitz. Couldn't quite get it to her. As we said, certainly FDU with a lot to play for here. The potential top seed in the Mac Freedom Tournament on the line for them. For Manhattanville, they're just playing for pride here tonight. Now Kreitz lets it go to Antonazzi. Antonazzi looking for Kreitz in the middle. Comes back to Antonazzi, however. It's booted away by Rubin. Now Boot has it. She'll take it into the corner. Knocked away by the Devils. Boot trying to keep the ball on the offensive end, but it's chopped well down the field and over the stick of Casillas. That ball goes out of bounds. "11 minutes to go in this first half. 1-0 Valiants on top. At the moment, they're officially crediting the goal to Haley Linkram, as she took the initial shot. The question is, off whom did the ball deflect when it went into the net? Well, right now, it's going to be Linkram's second goal of the season, second goal of her career. Her first goal came just a couple weeks ago, was the game winner for the Valiants against Stevens. Boot intercepts. As we are at the 10-minute mark remaining in the first half, 1-0 Valiants on top. On, at least at the moment, Haley Linkram's second goal of the year. Here's just the second shot for Manhattanville in the game to this point. But on their first corner, the Valiants were able to convert. Now FDU with an opportunity here, as they'll have their fifth corner of this game. Third corner of the game. Caitlin Halloran's already made 5 saves tonight. We'll see if she'll be called upon to make another one. Shot is blocked, and it's knocked away by the Valiants. Ball still in the offensive zone, however. Boot sweeps that one away along the far sideline out of bounds. Now in the middle, it's knocked away. Shot towards the middle. It's collided away by a Valiant player. I'm not sure if that was a boot or not, but it went back across the grain. Goes out of bounds on the near side. .8:15 to go on the clock here in the first half, as you hopefully can see at the top of the screen. Now FDU back in the zone. Halloran boots that one away. And that one's going to go to bounds on the sideline, so very well placed. Foul call. The Valiants, I'm sure, would have liked to play that one right away, but he'll go back towards their own goal. Maxwell out of the game, Boot out of the game. As Thomas comes back in, as does Gerzabek. So we can probably expect a lot of changes here tonight. A lot of substitutions on this very cold Thursday evening. You don't want bodies staying on the sidelines for too long. As Gilchrist comes out, Stye's back in the game for Manhattanville as well. Now Kettlewood. Giants can't control. foul call there on Casillas. FDU have it right outside the arc. 6:50 to go, first half. Valiant still with a 1-0 lead. FDU will play it backwards. In his zone, it's knocked away by Linkrum. Linkrum again sweeps it to the side. That one loose in front, and we'll have a foul called on the Devils. It's the Valiant defense playing very well to this point in the evening. Obviously a long ways to go here, 41 minutes and change left in regulation. Antonazzi will keep it in along the near sideline. And a foul called on her. She was battling with Pack. Now into the middle. Shots blocked. Second attempt, saved by Halloran. And it's kicked away, but a corner comes for the Devils. So Halloran picks up another stop, but FDU picks up another corner. FDU coaching staff going to their color-coded penalty corner situation. Be a green corner, whatever that may be. Gabby Allen has it for the Devils, and she will insert. Shot again knocked away by Halloran, and it's Valiant ball. So Caitlin Halloran keeping FDU off the board here with under 5 minutes to go now in the first half. Still 1-0 Manhattanville on top. Crowd roars with approval as the referee calls the foul on FDU. I said a pretty raucous crowd here tonight for Manhattanville field hockey. Who knew Thursday night field hockey was the way to go here in Purchase? And we'll have a stoppage. It's going to be a green card to Amira Thomas. One thing Valiants have had trouble with this year has been cards. We certainly saw in their last home game against the Sales, Manhattan will get up the game-winning goal in the final minute with 3 of their best players on the sidelines for yellow cards. So that certainly has been an issue for this Valiant team this year. They're to kill it off here, though, the few minutes left to go in this opening half. 3:37 left on the clock. Knocked away by Van Limburg-Stierum. Can't get up the field, however. In the middle. And out of bounds it goes. That pass, not sure it was intended to go to Stiles, but found its way to her, but a foul called on the senior. That shot saved by Halloran. I think it was outside the arc anyways, but Halloran nonetheless turns it aside. Halloran boots that one away, but a corner will be called for the Devils. 2 minutes to go in this half, and the FDU will go short. They'll pass along the arc, and it's swept away by Manhattanville. Valiants, I think, really feeding off the energy of the crowd here today. It's a very energetic crowd, and I think Manhattanville is playing with that similar energy. And another corner coming for the Devils. I don't know if it's senior night, if it's the crowd, if it's just the fact that it's the last game of the year. Manhattanville certainly would like nothing more than to give their seniors a proper send-off here tonight. Obviously still have a long ways to go here in this contest. 75 seconds remaining in the first half. And foul on FDU, so the Valiants escape another corner. But a card is coming out for FDU, a green card for Jessica Petricatella. So she'll sit for the final minute of the first half and the first minute of the second half. And now Manhattanville with a chance. Not many opportunities on the offensive side of the field for the Valiants here tonight, as we're in the final minute of this first half. That chance quickly extinguished by the Devils. Now a whistle gives it back to the Valiants. Gerzabek goes off the shin of Santarelli. It's got to hurt on a night like tonight. It is not warm here at GoValiants.com field. Devin Butler steps up to knock that one away. Thomas gets by one defender, can't get by the second, however. 15 seconds left to go. Valiants will sweep it out on the near side of the field. Over midfield, 5 seconds left to go. Antonazzi will not be able to do anything with it here. It's out of bounds. And that will do it for the first half of play. And Manhattanville, after 35 minutes, has themselves a 1-0 lead on FDU-Florham. So if you're the Valiants, this is, I think, probably as good of a half as you could have expected for head coach Kevin Kelly, even though the stats, for the most part, are going the way of the Devils. Manhattanville has been able to find themselves on the right side of the only stat that really matters, and that's the goals, as the home team has themselves a 1-goal lead after 35 minutes. So we'll take a quick break here on GoValiants.com. We'll be back in just a bit to bring you the second half of action between Manhattanville and FDU-Florham. Once again, the score after 35 minutes, Valiants 1, Devils 0. You're watching Manhattanville Field Hockey on GoValiants.com. And we're back here for the second half of play here at GoValiants.com field. We start the second half with the Valiants holding a 1-0 lead over FDU-Florham in this MAC Freedom matchup. As we said, the Valiants playing for nothing but pride here tonight. They're out of conference tournament contention, but you wouldn't know it the way you've seen this team play in the first 35 minutes. If head coach Kevin Kelly, certainly you hope that the team can keep it up here in this second half. That ball goes out of bounds. We put back in by the Devils. The wind continues to howl here in Purchase. It is not a warm night here at GoValiants.com field. And you have to wonder if that will play into the second half of this game, either positively or negatively for these two teams. But any ball off the body is going to sting a little bit more. Anytime that ball hits the stick and not the correct way is going to sting a little bit more for these teams and these players here today. And we're going to have a corner here called against Manhattanville. Caitlin Halloran was pleading her case loose for a second there to our referee, but it'll be corner number 7, I believe, for the Devils. And it would be Allen once again to insert. That shot saved. The rebound is swept off the line. And then in the back of the net. The first shot was saved by Linkrum. But then I believe it was Michaela Pack who puts it home. And now our referees are in a conference here. It is a goal for FDU. So Linkrum got the one defensive save, but she could not stop the second one from going in the back of the net. And very early in the second half, FDU evens up the score. Here less than 3 minutes into the second half. We're all knotted up at 1. FDU again into the offensive end. Shot gets blocked by Linkrum, and another corner comes for the Devils. You kind of knew this was going to happen. I mean, FDU had a 13-1 edge in total shots in the first half of play. You certainly knew they were going to come out strong here in the second half. As you said, they're playing for the top seed in the MAC Freedom Tournament. Ball's loose. Back in the middle, and a beautiful pass, and that's put home. And a card given to Manhattanville as well. That was Chrissy Penny who gets the goal. And now a yellow card goes to Robin Boot. So she gets, I think, a green card and a yellow card there. So she'll be out for 5 minutes. And so just like that, FDU has scored twice in the span of 3 minutes and 6 seconds. And the Devils find themselves on top 2-1 and looking for more. Intercepted. Knocked away by Hadgraft. Swept to the outside, but FDU retains possession. Shot saved by Halloran, that's booted away. That ball goes too high, and it'll be Manhattanville possession. Linkram flicks this one in the air. Not gonna lie, no idea what the foul was called there on Chrissy Penny. But the ball will stay with the Valiants. It's flicked back to center where FDU will control. Foul on Manhattanville. Sones gets the return pass. He thought about a reverse sweep, but couldn't get the angle. Foul called on the Valiants. Sones with it. She'll go backwards. Getting through a couple players, and that one goes off the body of an FDU player in front. I believe that was Colvin. It'll be Manhattanville ball. Looks like Linkram was a little shook up, I believe, for the Valiants. But we will keep playing here. 29-39 to go in this second half. Valiants were up 1-0 at the half, but two very quick goals for the Devils in the second half have given the visitors a 2-1 lead. Now have a stoppage and a card coming for FDU. It's a yellow card on Marissa Colvin, so she'll be out for the next 5 minutes. So both teams playing a player down for a little bit here. Boot with, I think, about 2 or 3 minutes left to go on her yellow. Pass in front, swept away, actually hits off a Valiant player, and another corner coming for the Devils. As FDU just with a relentless attack here, just continuing to keep pressure on the Manhattanville defense. Now wide open front, Halloran saves the first one, but it's put in the back of the net. So another corner results in another goal for FDU. This one, Marissa Kowalski. And it's now 3 unanswered goals for FDU in the second half. To make this a 3-1 Devils lead. What was such a promising first half for Manhattanville has turned very unpromising in the first 7 minutes and change of the second stanza. Now the Valiants, who just have one shot on goal to this point in the game, find themselves down by a pair. And FDU continuing to attack. I don't think the Aggies want to leave anything to chance here in this Mac Freedom matchup. Ball in the middle. Linkram sweeps it away. And Thomas fires it up the field, but it's knocked down by FDU. And it's Pack with it. FDU just some precision passing here today. That one cleared off the line, I believe, by Butler. Or by Linkram, actually. I believe may have been the one to clear that one away. But then Manhattanville gives it right back. Foul on Linkram outside the arc. That one tipped. Halloran makes the save. A Valiant player is hurt. The referee's going to let things go. And a corner call it again for FDU. And now we'll stop the clock as a Valiant player is injured. I think it's Hadgraft, I believe, who was shaken up. She made a motion like she got elbowed. It's going to be another corner for against Manhattanville for FDU. The Devils have been deadly on these corners at this point of the contest. Great passing and another one in the back of the net. That was just clinical there by the Devils. And it was Brooke Sherwin who put that one home. And that's just point-on-point passing for FDU, as they have really impressed in this contest, but certainly so in this second half. 26-16 to go. They've already put 4 goals home in the first 9 minutes of this second half. As the Magic's certainly running out for Manhattanville in their final game of the 2017 season. As we said, in that first half, FDU outshot Manhattanville 13-1. And Caitlin Halloran made 8 saves, including a penalty stroke save. Now we'll have a card on Manhattanville. It's Melissa Sties, a yellow card, so she's out for 5 minutes. As we said, the cards starting to accumulate a little bit for both teams here. In the middle, foul called on the Devils. Haley Linkram talking with the referees. So you can see the Valiants getting very frustrated with the refereeing here tonight, both the refereeing and also the wide-scale attack that FDU has put on them here in the second half. Boot stick handles through a couple players. Flicks it out of bounds. It'll be FDU ball. 24-20 left to go in the second half. FDU back to even strength. And back over midfield. Pass forward. It's hit off the body of Hadgraft, but actually they'll say it's FDU who had the infractions. Valiant ball. FDU on the attack once again. It's knocked up in the air by Linkram, and then they'll call a foul on her, so another corner for the Devils. 23-22 left to go in the second half. Once again, Allen to insert. She'll go to the middle this time. Thomas does well to disrupt that attempt, but all it does is give FDU another corner. As the FDU coaching staff will again go to their color-coded system. FDU breaks the huddle, and we'll see where Allen goes with this corner. Unofficially the 10th of the game for FDU. It's kicked away by Halloran. And a foul called on the Valiants. It looked like Gerzebek had a chance to make a break up the field with it, but the ball will stay with FDU. That ball will trickle out of bounds on the near side. Put it back in play by Petra Catella. It's Marie Petra Catella. Boot on the far side. You can see she continues to be frustrated. This FDU team very physical. They're certainly controlling play in this second half, as they have pretty much all game long, just didn't have the results on the scoreboard in the first half. But the Valiant defense has had very little time to rest over the course of this game to this point. And another corner called on the Valiants. 21 minutes even remaining in the second half of play. FDU with a 4-1 lead. If you're just joining us, first off, where have you been? Second of all, Manhattanville had a 1-0 lead at halftime on Haley Linkram's second goal of the season, but it has been all FDU in the second half, scoring 4 times in the first 9 minutes or so. Following the Valiants, and stop if you've heard this before, another corner coming for the visitors. Hopefully FDU has multiple colors, plays with the same color, otherwise it's going to run out of colors in the rainbow soon. It'll spread very wide for this one. Go up top. Middle, turning around and shooting. It's knocked away. I think Casillas may have gotten a defensive save there, as the ball got by Halloran. As you said, Manhattanville is really on their heels all game long. Now a bad turnover gives the ball back to FDU. That shot goes just wide of the post. That was Wexler, I believe, taking that shot. Valiant bench telling Manhattanville to relax a little bit here as we approach 19 minutes remaining in the second half. It's been all FDU in the second half. 4-1 Devils on top as they look to clinch the top seed in the Middle Atlantic Conference Freedom Tournament. Just as they did last year. They were the top seed, however, lost, I believe, in the conference championship game to Kings, who Manhattanville faced off with and fell to in the semifinals of the MAC Freedom Tournament last season. That ball goes out of bounds. If this were to continue, this will be the 4th straight year that FDU would be the top seed in the Mac Freedom Tournament. As Howard kicks that one away. FDU-Florham is 22-8-2 all-time against Manhattanville. It's one of the few rivalries among Mac Freedom teams that predates Manhattanville's time in the Mac Freedom Conference, which started in 2003. That's pretty much standard in most sports, as Manhattanville and then FDU Madison would play in pretty much every sport as local rivals. Now, of course, things up. The ante has been upped with Manhattanville's entrance into the Mac Freedom. I'll get the ball back to Linkram to, I guess, make sure she puts it in the right place. I don't quite know what it matters, but see Haley blowing on the hands. It is very chilly here in Purchase, New York tonight. Feels a lot more like November, end of November than the end of October. That ball in the middle, and foul called on the Devils. Linkram sends this one back to midfield. Foul called on the Devils. Give the ball back to Manhattanville. 16:29 to go. Second half for Manhattanville, looking to try to find a way to get back in this game. It only took them one real offensive possession to score in the first half. Now here's a chance, Antonazzi. And the Valiants get a corner out of it. So this is how Manhattanville scored in the first half. Antonazzi forced some pressure. The Valiants get a corner, and eventually Haley Linkram put it home. So we'll see if Manhattanville can have lightning strike twice here with 16 minutes to go in this second half. It's going to be Styes to insert, looking for Thomas. Thomas's shot is blocked and out of play. Robin Boot with it for the Valiants. Boot will stick handled by a couple of FDU players. Boot still with it, gets it toward the middle. Valiants can't control, however. Pass knocked down by Boot. Back towards the middle. Looking for a backhander, but it's denied by the Devils. Now FDU back over midfield. We'll stop the clock for a goalie change, as Samantha Rubin will come out and Megan March will come into the game. March has made 2 saves this season, allowed 3 goals, 2.88 goals against average, a .400 save percentage. I would tell you if she had a record, but my stat sheet blew away a long time ago here in this contest. Now towards the middle, it's knocked off of Linkram's stick out of bounds. 14:20 to go into this second half. FDU with a 4-1 lead. Some chanting of some point of some sort going on in the stands. That one cleared away by the Valiants. Certainly has been a very active crowd here this evening. Obviously, in the second half, it's been a little more subdued after they were very enthusiastic in the first half of play when Manhattanville had themselves a lead. Antonazzi going up there pretty much by herself, now waits for some teammates. Foul called on the Devils. And foul on Manhattanville, and FDU quickly looking to go back the other way. Following the visitors, Robin Boot will start it back up. 12:45 on the clock. I'm going to whistle that play. I don't know. There was no FDU player really nearby when she lifted that one up in the air. I'm not quite sure what the call was there, but I guess I'll say it was dangerous in some capacity. Obviously, the Valiants at this point are far past agreeing with their referees on most of their decisions. Petra Catello with it, and she'll start things back up. Fires one towards the goal. A beautiful save by Halloran. Then I believe that was Linkrum who knocked the second attempt off the goal line. So the shots coming fast and furious here this evening for FDU. So the Manhattanville defense has just been so busy all game long. It's been a pretty non-stop battle for Manhattanville defensively, and obviously they did very well in the first half to limit FDU's chances, but Devils got that one goal and the floodgates just kind of opened from there. And here we stand with 11-11 left to go in this game. And FDU with a 3-goal lead. Now we'll have a stoppage, another card for Manhattanville. It's going to be Boot again. Her second yellow. So she's going to go off for another 5 minutes. Excuse me, I think 10 minutes actually. That's her second yellow, so she'll be gone for pretty much the rest of the game. And it's been a frustrating game, and in many capacities, a frustrating season for the Valiants. After making the conference tournament, going in 11-8 last year, it has been a struggle at times for this Valiant team to find a rhythm offensively and just really play a complete game. Another card from Manhattanville. Lisa Maxwell is going to be given one. Is going to get a yellow card, so 2 Dutch women out for Manhattanville, and now we're going to have a card to head coach Kevin Kelly as well, a green card. So 3 players now. 3 people have cards for Manhattanville. So it has just been that type of second half for Manhattanville here this evening. After such a encouraging first half. Another card for Manhattanville. It's going to be Petersha who's going to go off now. A green card. It's a card fest here in the second half. So the Valiants now with 3 of their 4 Dutch players are on the sidelines with cards. Wonder if Van Limburg-Stierum can do something to just make it 4 for 4. I mean, the way this game is going at this point. I feel like the referees, in many ways, don't necessarily have a... Again, I don't know what that whistle was for. There was no one nearby for FDU. Valiant's just getting frustrated more and more as the minutes tick down. As we now approach 9 minutes remaining here in this Mac Freedom contest, the final game of the year for Manhattanville, and certainly not the way the Valiants had hoped to go out this season. FDU still coming forward. The Valiants got at least a couple minutes of break defensively as they kept the ball away from their net for a little bit. Ball off the foot of Linkrum. I feel like Haley has been beaten up all game long tonight, and as I said, the cold temperatures here in Purchase certainly don't do any favors when she's getting balls off the arms, off the legs, all over the place. She has certainly been a warrior for Manhattanville tonight and all season long. The senior tri-captain, along with Melissa Stiles and Caitlin Halloran. Here, Thomas knocks that one away. I feel like at this point, every time the whistle is blown, Manhattanville instinctively thinks the foul's on them, even though it wasn't in that case. Shot denied by Halloran and a foul called on the Devils. 7.5 minutes remaining in this contest. Petersha back in the game, so Manhattanville gets one player back. Maxwell still got a few more minutes on her yellow. And Boot has still about 6 minutes or so remaining on her second yellow. Antonazzi is still fighting hard. Gets by one player, can't get by the second, but that's because of a foul, apparently. FDU looking to settle the ball down at least a little bit more, it seems like, in the last couple minutes. So they're not going directly to goal as they've done for much of the game. That ball goes out of bounds as it's Pack couldn't keep it in play. Halloran kicks that one away. That one goes off the crossbar. And eventually it's knocked out of play. Oh. That's one stroke of luck that Manhattanville has had here in the second half. Five and a half to go here in the second half of play. Maxwell back in the game, so apparently Manhattanville's back to even strength. At least for the time being, at least. So we have 5 minutes left to go here in this game. Linkrum stepping up to win that ball back. Foul called on the Devils. Boot. That ball is saved. And now it's loose. Another save. Goalie sprawled on the ground, and it's going to be a corner for Manhattanville. The Valiants were, I think, petitioning for a penalty stroke, but they'll have to settle for a corner as March made, I think, a one stop or at least or two saves, I believe, in that little sequence. Now to Thomas. Thomas towards the middle. Marsh, I think, makes another stop. And we'll have another corner for the home team. So March, all of a sudden, has been called upon to make a few saves here after really having not seen the ball for 15 minutes or so since she got in the game. And at the moment, keeps it a 4-1 game. Now Styes, lost control, gets it back. And another corner for Manhattanville. So 3 in a row for the home team. As we now go under 3 minutes in this second half of play. Valiants looking to get at least one more in the scoreboard here. Down 4-1. They'll go to Styes. Shot gets blocked. Linkrup knocks it away. Petersha. Go back to Hadgraft. Hadgraft off the shin pad of an FDU player. Hadgraft high up in the air. Taken back, though, by FDU. And we'll have a stoppage. Another card here to add to the card fest. With 2:09 left, it's Maxwell again for a second yellow. So Maxwell will sit for the remainder of this contest. Why not? It's an appropriate way, the way this game has gone so far. I believe there's been one card, I believe, to FDU. But for the most part, Manhattanville's gotten, let's say, at least 5 or 6, I believe, at this point in the game. Boot with 2, Maxwell with 2, Petershaw with 1, the Valiant bench with 1. Styes got 1 as well, so I guess that's 7 for Manhattanville. 1:25 left as the final minutes tick down here at GoValiants.com field on the game and on the season for the Manhattanville field hockey team. As we said, certainly a disappointing year for the Valiants after making the conference tournament last year. Obviously lost some key pieces from that team a season ago. And of course now Manhattanville will have 6 seniors to replace next season. Of course, Halloran in goal, Linkrum and Butler on defense. Styes and Maxwell up front, as well as Gerzabek in the midfield. So certainly the Valiants have some big keys that they do have to, big holes they'll have to fill next season. As look to make a run, getting back to the Mac Freedom Tournament after a 1-year absence. 20 seconds now to go. FDU will take their time for putting this one back into play. As the final seconds tick off, and that will do it. As FDU comes away with a 4-1 win over Manhattanville in the final game of the 2017 season for the Manhattanville field hockey team. Obviously not the result Manhattanville was looking for here in the final game of the year. But certainly, Valiants gave it a valiant effort here tonight against the first place Devils, who do clinch the top seed in the MAC Freedom Conference. Manhattanville went into the game, went into the half with a 1-0 lead, and unfortunately just could not sustain it as the FDU attack just was too much for Manhattanville to overcome over the course of the full 70 minutes of action. We take a look at our final stats here from GoValiants.com field, and certainly very one-sided they are in favor of FDU. The shots were 25-5, shots on goal 18-3, corners 15-5, all in favor of FDU, as the visitors come away with the victory here by the score of 4-1. So that will do it for us here from GoValiants.com field. We thank you for watching tonight. We thank you for watching all season long with Manhattanville Field Hockey here on GoValiants.com. We'll be back next season, of course, to bring you some more Manhattanville field hockey action. But, of course, there's plenty of games still on the docket for Manhattanville. As we mentioned, the first game of the men's ice hockey season comes up tomorrow, as the Valiants will take on Morrisville State in a non-conference matchup beginning at 7 p.m. at Playland Ice Casino. And then we're back here tomorrow to bring you, or on Saturday, excuse me, to bring you Manhattanville men's and women's soccer in a MAC Freedom doubleheader against Wilkes University, women first at 1 and the men at 3:30. So that will do it once again here from GoValiants.com field. Once again, final score is FDU-Florham 4 and Manhattanville 1. We thank you for watching Manhattanville Field Hockey here on GoValiants.com.